Dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder, is defined as the client's display of two or more distinct identities or personality states that recurrently take control of his or her behavior. It is accompanied by the inability to recall important personal information. Disassociation is a subconscious defense mechanism that helps a person protect his or her emotional self from recognizing the full effects of some horrific event by allowing the mind to forget or remove itself from the painful situation or memory. The essential feature of DID is a disruption in the integrated functions of consciousness, memory, identity, or environmental perception. This interferes with the person's relationships, ability to function in daily life, and ability to cope with the realities of the abusive or traumatic event. The onset or intensity of this disorder varies greatly and can be sudden or gradual, transient, or chronic. DID is often seen in clients with PTSD. Dissociative disorders, relatively rare in the general population, are much more prevalent among those with histories of childhood physical and sexual abuse. Some believe the recent increase in the diagnosis of dissociative disorders in the U.S. is the result of more awareness of this disorder by mental health professionals. Treatment and interventions for these patients usually include group or individual therapy in the community to address the long-term effects of their experiences. Therapy for clients who dissociate focuses on reassociation or putting the consciousness back together. This specialized treatment addresses trauma-based dissociative symptoms. The goals of therapy are to improve quality of life, improve functional abilities, and reduce symptoms. Clients with dissociative disorders may be treated symptomatically with medications for anxiety and depression, or both if these symptoms are predominant. I'm making this video today on behalf of my client Mary. Mary is a 31-year-old female who I've been working with for a little over a year now. She was diagnosed with DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder, about 3 years ago, and she displays 3 different distinct identities. Those include Jessica, who refers to herself as an older female who kind of takes on the protective role for Mary. There's also Matilda, a 7-year-old girl, and there is Matt, a 20-year-old male who goes to school for video game design. Before I get too much into Mary's alters, I just want to give you background information on Mary's childhood. Mary was brought up in an extremely abusive environment. Her father was an abusive alcoholic. He would abuse her mother while Mary watched on. And throughout therapy, Mary kind of divulged some more information and let us know that he sexually abused her and that she actually witnessed him beat her mother to death. He's now incarcerated. She also has a sister who was removed from the house before all of these occurrences took place. They have since talked, but she said that she couldn't deal with Mary's diagnosis of DID. So she really has a lack of family support. She doesn't have a family support system whatsoever. Although she does have a boyfriend who she lives with. His name is Joel, and she also has a friend, Nicole, who lives in the same building that her and Joel do. And they really help take care of Mary, and without them, Mary might not be able to function as well on her own. So before I had mentioned Mary's alters, I'll start with Matt. Matt is, as I said, a 20-year-old male. And I think sometimes Matt kind of struggles the most out of all the alter personalities because he is the only male personality. He makes comments in therapy that he wishes he could date women, and he wishes that he could participate in more things that males do, but unfortunately because he is in the body of a woman, it makes it more difficult. The alters have made a list of different rules and things that they abide by, and one of them is that Matt cannot date women. So he does get upset about it sometimes, but he does agree that it probably wouldn't be the best thing. There's Matilda, the 7-year-old girl. Matilda's just like any 7-year-old. She likes to color, she likes to watch Disney and princess movies. Unfortunately, her struggle is that she is a 7-year-old stuck in a 31-year-old's body. So when people see her, they expect her to know or to do different things than she really can. So that's where Nicole comes into play. Nicole really helps manage Matilda. And when Matilda needs anything, Nicole's there. Our main priority with Matilda is just to keep her safe. In the last alter personality is Jessica, who I believe is the most important alter that Mary has that really keeps everyone in line. Jessica refers to herself as an older female. She was in my office earlier this week, and we discussed as a part of treatment that maybe it would be a good thing for her to do a video diary, and that it would really help me understand the different day-to-day life of her different personalities. So I gave her the assignment, and she is going to kind of give us more information as to what those different personalities are feeling and how Jessica is able to manage them even when she's technically not around. So hopefully we'll be able to see some progress. I'm hopeful that Jessica and Mary will be able to keep a collaborative, controlled system between the different alters. From what I've seen so far, they've been able to work collaboratively, but as therapy continues, hopefully we'll see some more progress.
Hi, I'm Mary. Dr. Reynolds said that we should do these videos to kind of, I don't know, start a journaling process that we're looking at, trying to see, how everyone takes to the video thing. I guess it's supposed to be a pretty good way to keep track of things. But I'm host for everyone else. I'm the face that everybody sees day to day. When I'm kind of out and about, or one of my alters is out and about, they generally will kind of take on my mannerisms and the way that I talk to sort of keep up pace. I understand how everything came about. I know that basically everything that happened to me when I was a kid triggered a dissociation, hence the dissociative identity disorder. Everything just kind of fell into place that way. But we have Jessica, who is probably more than happy to talk about herself. She keeps everything organized in the system. Matt, gets the education part done. Matilda is just kind of, I don't know, the innocence that I just never really got to have. And I just, I do everything I'm supposed to do. I take all of my meds the way I'm supposed to, and I go to my appointments and, just kind of deal with things as I can. I'm the one who has DID. Everybody else has their own things going on. I think Matt's the only one who's never actually been psychologically diagnosed with anything, and probably Matilda too, because she's pretty young. But I'm the one with the anxiety and the depression and all of those kind of issues going on. I'm also the one who tends to be a little more creative. Matilda probably told you I painted the room for her. She didn't like the big person room that she calls it. She wanted her own room. So everything is bright pink and butterflies and fairies. And, I just went in and I wanted to do something special for her because that's kind of, I don't know, my cool down, I guess, when things get to be way too much. Luckily, I have Nicole. She's my best friend. She lives upstairs. She helps take care of Matilda when she's triggered out and make sure that she stays safe. The woman's a saint. She deals with a lot. trying to help. She leaves work a lot to come and help. But everybody has to kind of deal with, things that I do with my body. Jessica is at least, not happy when I come home with a new tattoo and she didn't know about it. But it's still my body. They just kind of help keep it going, and they just cohabitate in it. But we don't talk about what happened when I was a kid. That's, we moved past that. And everything is about just trying to deal with things now. I'm sure Dr. Reynolds will probably end up talking about more of it. And Jessica probably will too. But that's, the system works. We have the whiteboard. Jessica set that up. She's super organized. I'm not. If I didn't have the whiteboard, I wouldn't know what to do. I would probably just stay home and draw all day. I have my boyfriend who's playing video games, probably wishes Matt was triggered out right now so he'd have someone to play with. And he deals with this every day. Probably wishes Matt was triggered out right now so he'd have someone to play with. And he deals with this every day. Never kind of knows who he's going to wake up to or who he's coming home to or, what's going to trigger anything out. But he's learned a lot. Been together for a while. It's been about 2 years, and he introduces me as Mary. We're together. Him and Matt are just friends. He really doesn't have a lot to do with Matilda because that kind of situation really kind of confuses him a little bit. So he kind of leaves that to Nicole. So they're, they got to be friends and they're in constant communication. And then Jessica is really just kind of, the roommate. They don't have a relationship at all. They're friends and, but, it's probably an interesting thing for him to deal with, but, this is just the way that things work. This is the way our system works, and, it's not the easiest thing, but, this is how my life works. I don't really know what else to say. I guess I'll leave the rest to Jessica. Okay.
How do you know if it's on? Oh, the numbers are moving. Okay, hi, I'm Matilda, and Jessica said that I had to do this. I had to do it all by myself. I'm one of Mary's alters, and it's really hard to be an alter for a big person because I'm a little. I'm only 7. This is my beautiful room that Mary painted for me. See, I have my butterflies and I have a fairy over there, but I don't want to move this because I don't want to drop it. But it's very hard to be a little in a big person's body because sometimes people don't understand that I'm just a little girl, and I get very scared sometimes as I have to go and do things that big people have to do, and I don't know how to do it, but I'm always very safe. I don't drive the car. I call Nicole and she comes to get me. She lives upstairs, and I call her and she comes from work and she brings me. Sometimes I have to go to the doctor. It's a little scary and I don't want to go by myself, so she comes to get me, and she brings me, and she's fun. I like her. We color, and she helps me do my room for me because it's just my room. Nobody else comes in here, especially not Matt. He gets very grouchy, especially if I touch his games. I'm not allowed to touch his games anymore. He doesn't like it. But I'm just one of the little people in here. And sometimes it's kind of scary because I don't know what's going on outside of here. So I stay home and I stay in my room and I have fun, and I like the princess movies, and and I like to color and I like to draw. And that's all I have to say. Bye. What button do I push? Bye. What button do I push?
Alright. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm one of Mary's alters. I saw a message from Jessica on the whiteboard this morning that I needed to get this done before I go to class today. Or she's not going to be happy with me. So don't mind me. I'm in the middle of playing. This is, I call this homework. As Mary's alter, I'm responsible for going to school. I also like to see myself more as the relaxed type. I'm not the one who stresses out about things. That's kind of her job. She's had enough things kind of happen to her that I don't like to stress her out. So I go to school. Sometimes my work gets done on time, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how often I'm able to trigger out to do the things that I need to do. So when I'm not out, everybody else is kind of responsible for going to class for me, taking notes, which are sometimes just a nightmare. But they, Jessica and Mary do the best that they can. If Matilda's out, there's no class. As you can tell, we're all very different. Like I said, I'm Matt, so I'm a guy. I don't have to wear glasses. Mary does. I don't have the issues that she does. I don't have the obsessive thing that Jessica has going on. I'm just a normal dude. But, like I said, I'm responsible for going to school. I go to school for video game design, hence this is homework. But that's kind of how I work in the system, is I'm the least stressed out. I just kind of do my own thing, and, just deal with being part of this system that is, female. I'm not gay. I don't like guys. So the relationship between Mary and Joel is really just, it's their relationship. He's my best friend. We hang out all the time. We play games, we go to shows, listen to music, like we just hang out. But there's no weird stuff happening. That'd be weird to do with my friend. But yeah, that's pretty much my role in all of this. Is I go to school, I stay relaxed, and crap, I'm gonna be late. All right, I gotta go. Jessica, I hope this was good enough. Bye. Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the organizer of this system. I know that Mary and Matt and Matilda have all done their videos. Got the whiteboard, keeps us all organized. Basically, I've been with Mary probably as long as she can remember. There was a lot of things that happened when she was younger, and she's what's called dissociated from that, and I came forward as a protector. Mary's the one who has the dissociative identity disorder. I don't. I actually have obsessive tendencies. A lot of protectors do. Things need to be very particular in a very particular way, hence the whiteboard, to make sure that everything is organized and that our host, Mary, is able to cope with daily things. I keep everything on track. I'm able to keep difficult situations and kind of assign them internally and externally. Generally, the protector is the one who triggers out certain alters when needed. So when I'm present, as you've probably seen, everyone has very different ways of acting and talking and different manners, different mannerisms, different ways of dress. Clearly I am the most put together. Matt, I can't even talk about. I don't know what he has going on, but it just doesn't work. And everyone has their own relationships with, really the two main people in our lives, Nicole and Joel. They put up with a lot. I can't imagine it's very easy to deal with this entire situation, and good for them that they have the patience to do so. I do not have any relationship with Joel that's Mary and his their situation. We're friends. We get along very well. We're more roommates. I tend to find him a little young, a little immature at times, but they get along perfectly fine. I have no issues, living together and whatnot, as long as he does what he's supposed to do. Nicole is my best friend. She started out as my best friend, and when I had to discuss with her really kind of what was going on, it was difficult for her to hear. I think a lot of things made sense, but things need to be dealt with. They're dealt with, and everyone exists for a reason. I think I actually need to split these videos up a little bit because apparently I talk more than everybody else does. So I'm going to end this one and start a new one and go from there. I want to keep everything on the list that I need to follow. I'm not going to go too much further into it. Nicole has her own interview to do, and Joel has his own to do, and Dr. Reynolds is going to put everything together. But Nicole and I were friends first. She moved into the building, and we just kind of saw each other in our comings and goings, and just chatted niceties. She would say, I guess, hi to Matt some days, and would get nothing more than a head nod. It's all you're really going to get out of him most of the time. But would see me, and we would chat, and she'd come over for coffee, or I'd go to her house, and we got to be good friends. And after a couple of years, really, I explained everything. It's really difficult to explain, that you're not always who someone thinks you are. Her and Mary are also good friends. Her and Matt aren't around each other very much, and she is a godsend when it comes to Matilda. She helped do Matilda's room. She knows that when she gets a phone call and it's, Mary's phone, it's Matilda. Everybody else texts her. So when her phone actually rings and it says Mary, it's Matilda. And she needs help, and she needs someone to come and help, and she's able to leave work. I believe as far as her work goes, she's actually going to take care of her niece. And they've never asked anything of it. She must think that her sister is completely inept to be able to take care of her niece. But she goes and she does what's needed, and when Joel gets home, kind of explains, what happened, and, between the two of them, they get everything kind of figured out. How they work their own system is, an organizational feat in itself. I don't have very much to do with that. I have enough to organize here. But everything just, it goes about as smoothly as it can. Everybody has their own, their good days and their bad days. Some days are better than others. Some are worse than others. I'm definitely out more than anyone else is, even Mary. She gets very panicky with the outside world. She gets very anxious with it. So, her own therapeutic thing that she does is, she's very creative. She's very artistic. She kind of, takes that route of things. So I go out and I make sure that the grocery shopping is done, the laundry is done, that all of those things are done and taken care of, and that everybody has their own list of chores done on the whiteboard to go with really what they're good at. I mean, we don't give Matt too much of the cleaning stuff. He gets the bathroom because, frankly, out of, everyone, he's the messiest. So he deals with that. Matilda does little things. She helps put dishes away. There's not much you can have a 7-year-old do. But you know, we have our system, and it works really well for us. And as long as it works, I'm going to leave it as it is and not go messing around with it too much, because it takes a lot to get back into a routine. That's pretty much how we go about doing our days. That's about it, Dr. Reynolds. I hope this was what you needed. And, you know, if we need to change things, let me know and I'll add it to the list.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Joel. I'm going to be talking to you today about a little bit about DID. I first met Mary like 5 years ago. Mary and I have been dating for 5 years now. See, the thing with Mary is she has DID, and she's not just Mary. She has many different personalities. She's Mary. She's also Jessica, which is her older, more mature, protector personality. With Jessica, she's very organized, and she's more like the adult in this personality. Now, she also has a child personality, and when she goes into this altar, she thinks she's a little kid, and her name in that personality is Matilda. And then her last personality is Matt. And this is kind of awkward when we're dating and we're out in public, but it's actually pretty cool, because when she's Matt, it's like we're best friends and we're hanging out and we're doing guy things together and playing video games. Matt, he's a male. He's very studious. He's 20. He's a gamer. He's into video game design. I have to say though, this is dating Mary has been very difficult, but it has its ups and its downs, and I feel for her, because not many people understand people with this disorder. Like her parents aren't very understanding. Her father was very abusive when she was a child towards her and her mother. And this is very tough for Mary, because this disorder is very tough for Mary, because you know, she never knows what she's gonna be when she wakes up, or you know, it could happen like that. And I know it could be kind of what do I want to say? Embarrassing for her, because when you're a 31-year-old female and all of a sudden you become a baby or an infant and you're acting like that, and you have no clue that you're acting like that, and people are looking at you like, who is this girl? She just went from some older lady to a baby. Now she's going to be a mature lady, as in Jessica, or in a male to a female. Like, so making friends is very very hard for Mary. And I met Mary at the bar, and she was Mary. She wasn't Jessica or Matt or Matilda. So when I first met her, everything was great. You know, we hit it off great, and then when we started dating, and then that's when I finally realized that, holy crap, this, you know, she goes from one extreme to the other. But we've learned to work with it, and having DID is a very difficult disorder, and I couldn't ask for anything else.
So we're doing these video interviews in collaboration with Mary's Therapy. Can you introduce yourself, and then I'm just going to ask you some questions?
I'm Nicole. I'm Mary and Jessica's friend, and I'm also Matilda's caretaker.
All right, and how did you first meet Mary?
Actually, I didn't meet Mary at first. I met Jessica. I moved into the apartment building about 10 years ago where her and Joel live, and that's how we met, and we became friends after that.
Okay. How did you find out about Mary's DID?
About 3 years after meeting Mary, her and Jessica decided that they needed more help with caring for Matilda because she cannot be left on her own, and sometimes Joel can't always be there at the drop of a hat to care for her. So they kind of came out and told me about DID, which I had no idea ever even existed.
Okay. How did you react when you found out?
I took it pretty well. There were always, like, in hindsight, there were always some kind of things different, like, there were always different clothing, like, you would never know. One day Mary would show up with torn pants and a band t-shirt that I didn't even know she listened to that kind of music, and other days she would be in pink, frilly, sparkly clothes, but all of her alters worked together to protect her, so they would take on her mannerisms. It wasn't until after they told me that I got to meet each of the alters separately, along with Mary, the host herself, who I had never actually really gotten to know.
All right. What are your roles in the lives of Mary's alters?
Well, Jessica is one of my best friends. We go shopping together all the time. I see and interact with Matt once in a while, but honestly, I can't really take him, so he's more of Joel's friend, and I take care of Matilda because you can't leave a 7-year-old. The alters try their best to get her to do what they need to from inside, but sometimes she just doesn't want to listen. She's your typical 7-year-old. If she doesn't want to listen, then I need to be there to make sure she doesn't get hurt, doesn't get into things she's not supposed to, and especially that she stays out of Matt's video games because she gets into them and he gets mad, and it causes a lot of strife for the host and the alters.
Right. How does this affect you, being Mary's friend?
It gets hard sometimes. It's very hard to be friends with somebody who has DID because sometimes you don't know quite who to expect. With my job, they understand that I need to go home and take care of my niece because that's how I explain Matilda. That way, when she needs me, I can be able to leave. She doesn't come out that much, so a lot of times it's just me hanging out with Jessica, but it does get difficult at times.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right.